So Ford have announced the new Mark IV Focus ST edition. So this was actually reminded to me by, recommended to me by a subscriber actually from today. Said that the Focus ST edition has now been announced. I'm recording this as of the 24th of August, and you'll probably see the video soon. And as you can see, this was published by Top Gear on the 24th of August. And yeah, let's go through the Focus ST edition, what it's all about. And it says here, Ford's most hardcore hot hatch, and they're quite right. So yeah, here's the first sort of like picture you can see here. Now, unfortunately, I mean, if you're familiar with my fast Ford sort of obsession, I actually put like a letter out to to Ford about the Mark IV RS and how it is disappointing that car's not around. I get a lot of comments over the last few years. I know I do a lot of VW content as well, but yeah, a lot of people are disappointed that car's not about, and I am too. I kind of know the reasons. But actually, this car is pretty much, and I'll go into it further, why the Mark IV Focus RS will never happen. And we might never see an RS again, to be honest. Certainly not in the form that, fast Ford fans are used to. But anyway, so this is the Focus ST edition. Similar looks to the Fiesta ST edition. Now, reading actually through this article and what they've kind of said about it, the one thing that sort of attracted my attention was they actually said that the Fiesta ST edition did not appear to be a limited edition. Now, I can kind of go with that because I've seen loads of them about, which must hurt owners a little bit, because I guess you probably thought it was going to be like exclusive to like a couple of hundred cars. But yeah, I've seen plenty around. So that's interesting. But they're saying that this is, apparently, it starts from £35,785. And for that, you get the exact same power, the exact same e-diff, which is on a lot of cars now to kind of save money, not a mechanical diff. Similar to like I guess the GTI Club Sport that I drove as well a couple of weeks ago on the channel. So check that out. It's definitely a rival to this car. So saying 280 brake horsepower, that's what you get. But like the Fiesta ST edition, as we'll scroll through a couple of pictures as well as I'm talking, the changes are, well, in the suspension. That's what they've done. They've given it proper sorted suspension with loads of adjustability and rebound settings, and if you're a real car nerd, you can adjust it to your preferred setting or what Ford tell you the preferred setting is. So that's apparently transformed the car, which is really cool. You let in this blue paint with the black wheels and a bit of gloss black around it as well, which looks nice. Gloss black roof. Having driven the Mark IV Focus recently, I actually drove an ST line, albeit a 1.5 diesel. So if you do have a Mark IV Focus ST, do let me know. Drop me a message on like Instagram, or just go to the About section on my YouTube channel to contact me. Email or Instagram DM is generally the way I kind of go, and check back on other content just to know what I'm kind of all about. Generally, what I do is sort of like a first drive, and then if the owner's up for it, do like a little bit of a Q&A, which has been quite successful on my channel. So yeah, if you're interested in that, let me know for sure. But yeah, so this is like obviously the top of the range Focus that you can get. It's not going to get any better than this. I know Ford have plans, including with the Fiesta as well, with a midlife facelift. So it'll be like the Mark 8.5 or the Mark 4.5, that kind of thing. So maybe this is sort of like a run out. But yeah, so it looks good. I haven't really heard too many bad things about this car. I mean, at 36 grand, it's quite expensive, but every car is just so expensive now. And if you can get hold of a car on your driveway based on all the supply demands and stuff, you're probably not going to lose that much money over the next year. So yeah, 6-speed manual. You can get it in I think it's a 7-speed automatic. I'd go with the manual all day long, particularly for this. If it's got an option, that's what to go for. Now, unsprung weight is reduced because it's got lightweight wheels, so that's really cool. They look nice in black. They suit the car, and I love that paint. Reminds you of the Mark III Focus RS. Surprise, surprise. So it's basically, it's actually got the same engine as well, 2.3 litre EcoBoost from that, so you can see where they're kind of going. And okay, it's front-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive. But for Ford, the margins that they will get on this by just, let's change the suspension and change the wheels and the paint, is far more better than going through a whole development and design program for an RS all day long. So that's why they've done it. And it means Ford can compete better in sort of like the electric world. And you look at the Marquis, that's going really well. And actually Ford's sort of like profitability has gone through the roof this year, actually, from what I've checked. So fair play to them, they've made the right choice. And if you love your fast Fords, this is essentially the best hatched fast Ford you can get now, and maybe ever get the ST edition. And a big thanks to the subscriber who actually let me know and gave me the heads up that this was that this was coming out. So yeah, there's some pictures in what looks like probably Wales or some nice English countryside. I really want to get out there and kind of enjoy it myself. I like how it's got like 2 exhausts and they're real, and yeah, it matches quite nicely, and it's a practical car as well, plenty of space inside. I enjoyed driving it dynamically just from my ST line experience, so I can only imagine that this car is equally as good. You get it a little bit lower as well, so you get a better stance, as it kind of says here. 155 miles an hour, top speed, not 65.7 seconds, but all those kind of stats don't really matter in the real world, if I'm honest. It's how the car makes you feel when you drive it, and I've heard some great things about it, and you can chuck your family in it. The blue paint, although it's quite out there, one thing I will tell you with light blue is it's quite actually like a calming colour, so don't think of it as like the most aggressive looking hot hatch in the world. But that's how I like it. That's kind of why I have a Golf R, to be fair. I think it has a bit of a calming nature to it, so potentially a two-sided car, which is quite nice. But that's kind of it. There's no real extra things to it. That's all they mention. They mentioned sort of like the lower ride height. They mentioned how it's like 10 kilograms unsprung weight from each corner, which is great. 16-pound rebound settings on the dampers. Yeah, pretty cool. From KW Automotive, I believe it's the same type of setup that they had on the Fiesta ST, but obviously probably beefed up because this car weighs a little bit more than that. 35,785. Do you think it's too much, or do you think that's all okay? It says inside there's blue stitching and a red starter button. I didn't see anything really noticeable. Okay, so it's got blue stitching there. Red starter button. Okay, you can just about see a red start button. It actually looks pretty bland in there. I mean, yeah. And this is from a Golf R owner where the interiors are very not so. Man, I wonder if it's a shame because you normally get like red seats or something before, but yeah, in previous models like the Mark III. But okay, nice Recaros though, bigger than the Fiesta ST, and I know the complaints that I have heard from a Fiesta ST owner is that the side bolsters are quite tight, and I've noticed that as well from sitting in it. So yeah, this is probably a more grown up car, I suppose. But there's literally nothing else to say about this car. You know, I'm a big Fast Forward fan. I think it's great. Let's end it on a nice image. That's a nice image because it's going around the corner quite fast, or supposedly fast. It's available to order. I did check on the Ford website before this to see if you could spec it and choose it, but you cannot. You can only spec just a normal ST at the moment, but I'm sure if you inquire you can get one. Starting price near 36 grand before any other options that you put on the car. It's a little bit more expensive than obviously the standard ST because obviously it's an edition model, but not like extortionately more. Would you buy one? Are you looking forward to it? And you know, for me, again, credit to manufacturers trying to bring out these cars, because let's be honest, everything is pushing away from these kind of cars existing. So I have massive respect for these cars coming out, and certainly if I ever see them on the road, it puts a massive smile on my face. And they do sound good. That's one thing. Even the 2020 cars, I've heard them go past and I've gone, that is a decent noise. So they've managed to sort of work out those particulate filters better than probably some other brands, as is the Ford way, with a few pops and bangs here and there. But there you go. That's the Focus ST Edition, the Mark IV, the 2021 car. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks again so much for the subscriber for letting me know that this car had come out or had been announced. Again, this is a bit of a community channel, so if you say stuff, I will read it and then I'll probably do a video on it. And check back on other content to see what I'm all about. And yeah, if you enjoy it, subscribe and you'll get to see more content.